This is an essential topic out in this world, and that is how to start off your credit card journey responsibly. In this video, I'll be going over step by step in how you should start your credit card journey, whether you're a student or just an emerging adult. We'll also be going over how to build credit and also how to avoid common pitfalls. So let's dive in. Hey there, welcome to Adventure with Jazzy. On this channel, I talk about personal finance, and if you like the video, please leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And before we get into it, let's talk a bit about what credit cards do for you. So credit cards are very beneficial besides the fact that you have to carry cash all the time. So they help you to build credit. And eventually you're probably going to be needing a good credit score because that helps you to apply for an apartment, get a car, or even a house. So this is why it's pretty important to start off on the right path. And make sure you stick to the end, as I will be giving some advice for which credit cards that I would pick if I were to be starting on this journey. So let's get into the video. Now, the first thing that you should do even before getting your own credit card is to ask somebody if you can be placed as an authorized user. And make sure this somebody is actually a responsible credit card user. So you can do this even before you turn age 18. You can do it in your teens, and some credit cards don't actually have an age limit on who can be an authorized user. So what it means to be an authorized user is the primary card holder will put your name on their credit card, and as long as they make on-time payments and use their card responsibly, this will give you super benefits. So these on-time payments will tell the credit card bureaus that you're responsible, and this will benefit you as an authorized user because you will actually be building credit. Things to note is when you are placed as an authorized user, the primary card holder doesn't actually need to give you the credit card. Actually, you don't need to actually spend any money on this credit card. Essentially, it's just your name being on the credit card. So this tactic can be relatively safe for both sides. Just make sure that this primary card holder is actually responsible, because if they're not responsible, it could potentially hurt you. Moving on to step 2. Research and choose your cards wisely. So after becoming an authorized user on someone's credit card, you can now start researching and choosing your own credit card that you want to apply for. Now this is of course an important step, so make sure you choose wisely because your first credit card is going to be an important one. But there are 3 main things I'd say that you should pay attention to when choosing your first card. So the first one is to make sure this card has no annual fees. This is really important because later down the road, you don't want to be paying annual fees on this card that you potentially should keep forever, because your first card will actually hold a lot of your credit history, which contributes to your credit score. And if that causes you to have to cancel the card, this will hurt your credit score. So that's why it's important to choose a no annual fee card. The second recommendation is to choose a card with low interest rates. If you're just figuring out how credit cards work, then it could be pretty important to choose a card that has low interest rates, because life happens, you might forget to pay off your card, or maybe you might run into the case where you don't have enough funds to pay off the card. So you could play it safe by choosing a credit card that has a lower APR rate. And then the third recommendation, you can look for a card with a nice rewards or cashback offer. Now this isn't nice to have because me personally, I didn't have any rewards on my first credit card, but nowadays there are a lot more credit cards out there that offer cashback to even first-time users. So you can take this in account to see if any credit cards out there are beneficial according to your spending habits, and that can help you choose which card to get. The third step in the process is to start off with a lower credit limit. Sometimes when you're actually applying for new credit cards, they will offer to give you a choice of how high you want your credit limit to be. And if you are the type of person who isn't so good at controlling your spending, it might be a good idea to to opt for a lower credit limit. This just reduces the risk of accumulating higher debts in the future if you're not able to pay off your card in full every month. Step 4 is to be a responsible user. A big congrats to you for receiving your first credit card. Now it's time to be a responsible user, which is probably one of the more important steps in the process. So make sure you're only spending for what you can afford, and every month you're gonna need to be paying off your balance in full, because making those minimum balances, they really accumulate, and down the road it might be harder to pay off all of this debt. It's important to be responsible at the beginning, so then down the road you will avoid issues. Step 5 is to set up automatic payments. Now for me, this is actually kind of funny because it's been 10 years since I had obtained my first credit card, but it was only until last month when I turned on automatic payments. Somehow I always remembered to log into the app and pay off my card daily, but even if you do have the same habit as me, just do yourself a favor and turn on the automatic payments, because it's super simple and life happens. Maybe someday you'll go on vacation, you might forget about paying off your credit card, and this just avoids all silly mistakes. Number 6 is to monitor your spending. It's really important to actually log into your account and look at your spending, because some things might happen where you could either be charged twice, or maybe an unauthorized user has been using your card and making some purchases. Actually, in my experience, I've had a hotel charge me twice for a $40 fee. And if I didn't look at my purchases, this could have easily been missed. Luckily, credit cards are there to protect you, so reporting these types of issues can easily be resolved. Step 7, and the final step, is to graduate and get more cards. After a year or two of owning your first credit card, it's time to apply to more credit cards. And even if you are comfortable with owning just one card, I would suggest you should try to get 2 or more cards. And this is just because if anything happens to your first credit card, then all that credit history won't solely be reliant to this first credit card. Plus, you can enjoy more benefits and perks from more premium credit cards that you could apply to. So that was the end of the step-by-step process on how to get your first credit card. Now let's go over 3 cards that I recommend that you could be getting if you're a student. The first credit card I recommend is the Discover It Student Cashback Credit Card. This credit card is overall great for any type of student because it has no annual fees. You can qualify if you have no credit or even bad credit. Plus, within the first 6 months, there is no interest on this card, which makes it a pretty good buffer. What's exciting too is that this credit card also has some nice bonuses and rewards. Finally, this credit card reports to the 3 major credit bureaus, which is pretty good because some credit cards only report to 1 or 2, so that will help you to build credit better. So looking at the rewards, this credit card will give you somewhat of an intro bonus. So for the first year, on all the cashback rewards that you will obtain, Discover will match that and essentially double your cash back. So if you make $100 worth of cash back within that year, then Discover will match it and you'll be making $200 back. And another thing about this credit card is you can get 5% cash back on rotating categories. And these categories, it differs from quarter to quarter. Sometimes it's Amazon, sometimes it's gas, or even grocery stores. And then for any other type of purchase, you will be getting 1% cash back. The second credit card that I recommend is the Capital One Saver One Student Cashback Rewards Credit Card. So this card also has no annual fees, it reports to the 3 major credit bureaus, and it doesn't have foreign transaction fees, which is pretty good because if you're gonna go study abroad, then you don't need to worry about being nickel and dimed on every purchase. And this card also has some nice perks too, as it does have a welcome bonus of $50 as long as you spend $100 within the first 3 months. So this welcome bonus is not that high compared to many credit cards, but Considering that this is a student credit card, it's pretty rare to see a welcome bonus on those. And as for the rewards, this credit card has 3% cash back on different categories, which include dining, entertainment, streaming services, and grocery stores. That doesn't include Walmart or Target. There is also a limited time 10% cash back on Uber and Uber Eats. This will last until November 2024. On all other purchases, you will also be getting 1% cash back. And finally, even if you do leave school or you graduate, this credit card will stay with you, the rewards will remain the same, and rewards never expire. The third card that I recommend is the Bank of America Travel Rewards Credit Card. So this is the Bank of America Travel Rewards Credit Card, and it's great because it has no annual fees, no transaction fees, and the thing about the rewards on this credit card is for every dollar that you spend, you'll be getting 1.5 points. This is great because even though other credit cards might seem to have higher rewards, such as 5% cash back on certain categories, sometimes these categories aren't all coming from your daily spending. But for this credit card, you'll at least know that you're making more than 1% back for every dollar that you're spending. This credit card also has a sign-up bonus of 25,000 points as long as you spend $1,000 within the first 90 days. And this is equivalent to $250 back. So make sure that you're actually spending on what you need, because if you're just spending to obtain the bonus, then it's actually not worth it. So that's all I have for you today. Let me know in the comments below, are you a student and what was your first credit card? For me, my first credit card didn't have any types of rewards. It was from Bank of America, but at least I could improve my credit score. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you're new here, please subscribe and I'll see you in another one. Bye bye.